Hello, welcome to Transformation by Love. My name is Macaulay Kalu, and I'm very excited today, based on the program that we have today, to showcase what is going on in our community and around the world for people who are changing lives and affecting lives in a way that you will love to be energized, encouraged, and motivated to even do much more than whatever you've been doing already. And today we want to talk about what it's like to really, be that love that we are looking for, be that love that we are asking for. And so love is a very important key to me because, a lot of what is lacking in our community is the aspect of love. A lot of people are lacking love, maybe based on how they grew up, or maybe in the family setting, or in the community. And what this program is about is to encourage people to give a little more love and receive love. Some people are good in giving love, but they don't know how to receive love. Some people receive love, they don't know how to give love. So we want to see what we can do to balance what love is all about. First of all, what is love? To me, I want to tell you, love is God Himself. God is love. God is the totality of love, because through Him we have everything that we have. We have the breath of life that we have today. And so if God is love, which means that God made you in His image, and God wants you to love just the way He loves. He wants you to have life. And so today I have a special guest today who has been a change agent. He's been doing amazing. He found love, personally for himself, and also he's been doing a lot in the community, in the society, and so I'm very excited to have the privilege to talk to these gentlemen who he's just going like a machine. He's nonstop, so much is going on in his life. Every year he comes up with something much bigger than you can even imagine. And today we're privileged to be, visiting his company. Actually, here visiting his company, you can see at our background here, it's his main office where he directs all the things that are happening around the world. And today, please help me welcome Mr. Abioye Oke. So glad to have you today. Thank you so very much for honoring our request to have this session with you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Macaulay. It feels so good to have you right here at Lifestyle Up. We know how busy things can be at your end. So hosting you today must really be a special day, Doc.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so, today, like I mentioned, it's about, love.
Yeah.
We want to talk about love from the perspective of change, how love has been transforming lives and touching so many people. And there are a few things that you shared with me, that really led to this section based on how did you come about the change that happened to you? Where did you factor love in all that aspect? And tell us a little bit about yourself and about this wonderful company.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Doc. My name is Abioye Oke, like Dr. Macaulay rightly said. Currently, I work for Lifestyle Assets Hub Limited as the group CEO. We are a Pan-African housing solution company with special system to create a unique, affordable housing system across the continent of Africa, specially designed for Africans in Africa and for Africans in diaspora, but in the process to changing lives. Because you cannot give what you don't have.
Exactly.
So the idea of Lifestyle Hub is to provide us the resources. And we promise God that once He gives us the resources, we'll give it all back to the society.
Wow.
And that is the existence, and that is the DNA of what we do right here at Lifestyle Hub. And back to the core question is, when did I discover love? You cannot give what you don't have. I would really say I discovered self-love, because for you to love, you've got to be first selfish, then you be selfless later. Selfish in the sense that you need to first go do a lot of introspecting, look inward. I would really say it was when I really discovered myself. Before I discovered myself, I was living a very way below average life. Okay, I thought I was just one of those people out there, one of those creation. I didn't even understand the power of what God has given to me. Because God gave me one of the most dangerous gifts ever, which is the gift of free will. So what that means that I can take absolute decision, and God is open and trusting that I'm going to use that gift of free will irresponsibly. God is this gift is so powerful that even God cannot even retrieve it back from me right now. It's even too late. So was when I discovered myself, and I realized how beautiful God has created me, and I realized the potentials in me, and it brought some level of disturbance also, because I realized, my other friends out there, every other person out there that is thinking of giving up on life, it's simply because they've not discovered themselves. They don't even love themselves, because it takes you to discover yourself to love what you've discovered. So I loved what I discovered, and I just felt I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to helping people discover themselves so that they can love themselves. And when they love themselves, they want to share and give it back. Because if we all give, trust me, nobody will lack.
Wow, I love that. If we give, nobody will lack. And I think that's what this program is all about, that we encourage giving, because love will always give. But, I wanted to ask you, if you mind, telling us a little bit about your childhood, is there a way that you can tell us about, your childhood?
Wow.
Is there, how was it for you, growing up? With family, with your parents and all that. Would you say that you experienced love growing up, or is it also was it a catalyst to where you are today? And so is it a little bit about your history?
I think one of the best gifts also God has given me has been my childhood. Then I thought was a bit of a disadvantage, but growing up I discovered that it has helped me to create a balanced life. Because I was a rich kid at some point. I was a very poor kid at some point, But in terms of love, I think I experienced real motherly love, because I was privileged to have a fantastic mother, from the spirituality to morality and so on, But my dad, he was a great man too. Was a great man. Well, because the fact that his life was very confused in the sense that he was a polygamist. Okay. So the effect of polygamy, created some level of dichotomy that created some level of neglect, And at some point in my life, I experienced comfort. At some point, I experienced massive discomfort. I could remember clearly at 14 years, 15 years, I had to work on my uncle's farm, to clear his farm, to make a living, wow. And so I've experienced all sorts of interesting things. At 19, I'd worked on construction site as a laborer. I've done all sorts. I drifted into trying to be a model at some point, drifted into trying to act at some point. Wow. So it's all in the process of discovering myself. So I won't say I discovered myself too late, but my real self-discovery was 30. I was 30 when I really discovered myself. You can imagine, 30-year-old man. Because at 25, Doc, I was foolish. Okay, at 25, I did not really understand the power God has given to me at 25. So for me, I love to have people in their 20s around me, because I wish they had that kind of opportunities. They have right now. I wish I had it. I'm sure my life will have turned around for the good, even more than the way it is right now. But I think it was just a perfect moment that God said, Abioye, just be foolish for 30 years. Then at 30, I will show you real wisdom and who you are. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for really sharing that, because sometimes, we arrive at a certain point in life and people think, that has been the way, it's all been all the way. So it means that it doesn't matter what stage in life that you find yourself, it's when you find yourself first that affects what happens moving forward.
Absolutely.
And it's important to live an intentional life, and that's what I'm hearing from you.
Absolutely.
That until when you discover the self-love, you became selfish first, because one of the things about love, we talk about the greatest commandment, so love your neighbor as yourself. And the things that I tell people all the time, we focus so much about the neighbor factor. Yep. People just want to help other people, want to do things for other people, but they don't understand that the second sentence is actually the first. It said, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
So you are the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you are the source. So you can't love outside of how you love yourself.
True.
And that's why a lot of people have tried to love other people outside of themselves. They are still depressed. They are still sad. That's why, you know, it's good to, when you're real, you know, it's natural to give.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no pressure.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things I'm hearing from you, that you went through all the whole process to get to a place where you discovered yourself and now become a natural process. Because the reason why we are here is because we have been hearing about your name all over the place. You know, there is a lot. Everywhere is a lifestyle asset hub. There's an academy. There is a Zoom call going on. Even with these lockdown and all that is, you never stop. Just so much going on. You were in Dubai. You got an award. You know, we heard a story in Rwanda. You got an award. Everywhere there is Abioye Oke. There is lifestyle hub. And what's going on? You know, what's going on? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects and what's happening with Lifestyle Hub and Mr. Abioye Oke that is just ringing bell everywhere?
Yeah, I'm acting this crazy because there is a timeline. You know, and every vision has got an expiration date. You know, and I know clearly that if I don't act quick, God will take it off me. You know, and because for me, that's the reason why I put myself under positive pressure in terms of and believing in the power of speed, because the universe loves speed. You know, and I don't believe in perfection. For me, I just believe perfection comes in the doing. You know, so that's why we keep moving at Lifestyle Up. So we are more than delighted to learn from our mistakes and quickly turn them around to an area of strength. You know, and commit to the fact that we will not make the same mistake twice. You know, and basically the whole idea is that, like I said earlier, Lifestyle Up is the sponsor of our humanity. Okay, so we needed to generate some value. Okay, when we generate value, because value attracts profits, then we can invest a core of this profit in our humanity. You know, so basically that's why we ensure that we brand ourselves as a knowledge and wealth creation company. So even that's what we are building a team of, we call ourselves vision partners. When people subscribe into Lifestyle Up, you become a vision partner. We don't call you subscribers, because the vision, when God gave the vision, you know, sometime in 2016, 14, thereabout, you know, was designed to be co-owned, because the concept of Lifestyle is far bigger than Abioye. I'm even too small compared to the vision. So the fact that the vision is bigger than me keeps me excited. And as you agree, Doc, every vision, every good vision will attract its sponsors. And before that, every vision must be doubted, must be questioned. So our first 2 years, we were questioned, we were doubted. Then the third year, going forward, by God's grace, we are now attracting vision partners, vision helpers, and so on. You know, so basically the whole idea is to plant ourselves across the continent of Africa, because that's a mandate, and get people that believe in the vision to just run it. So my own role as the lead visionary is to plant the seed, okay, then get the right people that have the farmer mentality and not the hunter mentality to cultivate the seed to the point that it becomes a forest.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And, you know, lately I've been hearing some projects that you've been doing in the community, especially with the prisons, you know. And I see, based on some of the things you're saying, the challenges or the pain of life, you know, propelled you to where you are today. And so, you know, what is this project that I'm hearing about, you know, the prison? What brought about that, and what is it all about?
The Artisan Academy.
Yeah.
The Artisan Academy is a reflection of who Abioye was. You know, I remember clearly, I was walking, sometimes God is just very powerful. There is a church in Lagos called Calvary Bible Church. You know, when that church was being built, I was one of the laborers there. I feel the sand, you know, the lateral sign on the before the casting on the foundation. You know, and I remember at some point I was pushing, you know, the wheelbarrow, and tears were just, I was tired, but I just have to finish. If not, I won't get paid. You know, and for me, I saw a guy on our site in Gusape district of Abuja some months ago. He was a laborer working there. I saw the guy and I looked at him. I said, young man, you reminded me of me. But guess what? You are just 5 good books away.
Wow.
I wish you understood what I was talking about. Because your physical labor alone cannot liberate you. You've got to apply your intellect. You've got to apply your spirituality. Because intellect plus spirituality creates greatness eventually. So the Artisan Academy, sir, is to for us to bring those young people off the streets. Okay, and we train them because we run in a space that affects over 200 industries. That's the real estate sector. And there are 7 core skills in construction that if one can learn 1 or 2 of those skills, even if you don't have the corporate jobs, but you can at least get something done. Okay, can get something done. So the idea of Artisan Academy is for us to collaborate with some top industry players to join our faculty, and we've been blessed that we have a very solid faculty right now, whereby we train people and teach them. When they graduate from the training, then we employ them on our site. And when we grow it so big, we can start outsourcing to other developers too, so that they can have real human beings working on their site. Because the first 1 week of the 3-month course is to first teach them morality, leadership, and so on. Then every other one, we classify them into areas of interest, we train them. Now, why did we extend this to the prison? Okay, now we realize that I'm so delighted that the federal government of Nigeria, for example, had adopted the word or the phrase correctional service. That is by name. Government by itself cannot make it real. Government relies on other citizens, corporate organizations to support the correctional service to make it a true correctional institution. And we also realized, I was in a senior friend's office some months ago, and he's a very senior police officer. I said most criminals, they were in prison before. So they come out, they even get added. Sometimes they even form a gang right in the prison. So when they leave, they go ahead and terrorize the society even better. Wow. Okay, so we now felt that let's not just do this Artisan Academy outside in the real world. Let's go into this, the confined world of people in the prison. So whereby we will train them, just we will train every other person. But the whole idea is that we want to use them to make the prison better, and they will get paid in the process. So they will acquire knowledge, they will also get better financially. So what we have done is that, and we are so grateful to the Nigerian Correctional Service for approving that we should use the Kuje prison as a test run. So what we intend to do is that we are going to train those that have been carefully, and what we simply did was that those that are close to ending of their terms, so we give them priority. Okay, so we train them on those skills. Then we picked a part of the prison that needs some form of facelift, renovation, like their common eating area, for example. Then before you know, we start with the rooms. So they've shown us where is of priority they wish to renovate. That's the correctional service themselves. Wow. So what we are doing to do that, we train these guys. Then after the training, they will be the one to now implement. Those that will do the screening among them will do the screening.
So
those that will do the painting
themselves,
exactly.
Those
that will do the demolition will do it. Those that will do the block laying, they will do it. Okay. And guess what? If we are spending, let's say, 6 months on that renovation, they will get paid the normal labor rate every day for the 6 months, and it will be paid into their bank account.
Wow.
Okay, because the whole idea is that by the time they leave the prison, they don't necessarily have to start life all over again. And it will interest you, Doc, that it is also a crime to be broke in prison, especially when it comes to the Nigeria context.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'm serious. Because if you're a prisoner and you are lucky that somebody is coming to visit you on a daily basis and giving you 1,000, 2,000, you live a more decent life, trust me, even in the prison.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so the whole idea is that at least a portion of them will even be given to them in cash, because they allow them sometimes to buy certain things, in line with what the law requires of them. But the most important thing is that saving, in their bank account, so that by the time they finally exit the prison, okay, and of course there is a life. So it's a project I'm personally very excited about, and we just cannot wait to make a great, inspiring story out of this.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I really love that, because so many times, we don't pay attention to those people in the prison, and I think it's important in case somebody wants to support that. How can somebody partner with you in helping in such projects, when it comes to, the prison, project that you're doing, and also especially what you're doing, helping artisans and all that. How can somebody be part of that and help?
The truth is that we need all the support. that to make this really work. But before we ask for the support, we want to even test run it first so that we can show people and the whole world that look at what we've been able to do. With your support together, we can show more love and strengthen our own social security. Because when we help those boys on the street, we are also protecting our own self in the process. Because by the time they've gone to site to work, they are tired already. If somebody asks, oh, let's go and attack somebody somewhere, say, oh, my neck is paining me, and they ask me to be on site tomorrow so that I can get paid again, okay? So there's a positive ripple effect. So because we know that we'll end up attracting certain support, because right now the Artisan Academy is running as an offshoot of Lifestyle, like a unit at Lifestyle.
Okay.
But what we've decided to do is that we want to move it out being a unit at Lifestyle. We are registering it as an NGO, as a non-for-profit,
okay,
so that it can have its own account.
Okay.
So it can have its own account, and so that the account can easily be audited too. So that by the time there are a lot of international donors out there looking for credible ventures that really touching society, they're looking at supporting. So by the time we finalize the NGO registration, it will have its own special account number. Then we can start giving out the account. And for anybody watching it that feels it likes the concept of the Artisan Academy, you can reach out to us at Lifestyle Up, our website, lifestyleassetsup.com. Then of course we can always discuss more of the project with the person, and of course when we finalize the registration, the person can always want to be part of what we do at the Artisan Academy.
That's really amazing. So which means all this that you've been doing has been carried on by Lifestyle Asset Hub.
Because we told ourselves that a portion of our profit must go into charity. So charity is one of our pillars at Lifestyle.
Oh, wow. So you really pushing that corporate social responsibility, which is one of the key essence of all this, so that we know that no matter what we do, as we are being blessed, we can also give back to the community. So it's really amazing what you're doing. But, I know that you're a busy man and all that, and there's so much to do. Just in wrapping up in this, one of the amazing things that I love is one of the things you talk about, people being able to own their own property, because you have a passion for that, that you believe that everybody can own their own house. And so, do you want to share a little light on that? Because there is this thing that you call using your social capital,
exactly,
as your investment, or as your, So can you explain to us how? Because I'm seeing in a short period of time, few people who never thought that they could own a house now have their own, property, even at a very good choice areas, in Nigeria and different African countries. So how are you doing that? How did that come about?
As a child, I never had the luxury of having a room to myself. So for me, I think that is very unacceptable, especially in the world we find ourselves today. And we believe that we created what we call the one man, one apartment campaign, one woman, one apartment campaign, because you cannot achieve financial stability if you are still paying rent. Okay, so we just believe that and the definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So we just felt, since we are coming to the real estate space, what should we do differently from others? What gifts do we owe the industry? So we came up with a concept we call the structured social funding system. So where people can make up in numbers what they lack in cash. Okay, and because of the name Lifestyle, it's very complex, very dynamic, lifestyle. So the location of where the apartment is very key. Okay, so we are building at the moment 4-bedroom terrace duplexes. So upon qualification, you own yourself a 4-bedroom terrace duplexes that is very smart, Google smart, and of course with its own private rooftop swimming pool with a 10 years non-leakage warranty. Okay,
amazing.
For example, in Abuja, Nigeria, if you want to own such an apartment, you will need between $250,000 to $300,000 US. Okay, so we say, why pay so much? Okay, when you can own it with, for example, $5,500 US.
Really?
Okay, you can own the same apartment with $11,000 US. You can own it with $44,000 US, and of course, you can own it with $200,000 US, depending on which of the options appeals to you the most. So what we've simply done carefully is that we have options for different categories of people, okay, depending on your temperament. Either you wish to network your way, or you simply pay your way to owning those apartments.
Wow.
And of course, and the whole idea is that we want to build a unique community of people that are subscribing to that system, and as they are doing what is required, everybody is owning their own houses, and everybody is achieving financial stability in the process.
Wow. Well, my good people, you've heard it all, from these amazing, amazing young men that God is using to do so much to change and affect lives. And we are very delighted, to be given the opportunity to walk through the journey and be welcoming to this beautiful company and hear all the great things, that you are doing, to really change the community. And we are so delighted, because if you did not answer the call to your purpose, I don't think there's so many people that we know that are employed under Lifestyle Hub would be employed today. I don't think that all this project that you're talking about, those in the prison and those who don't, have anything going on in life, you've been bringing in people, training them in different skills and employing them on top of that. And so that's really, wonderful. One of the things in closing that we love to do as a challenge, what is it that you're going to do in a way of, I know you already do it, but one special thing that you love to do in the next 2 weeks, between that next 2 weeks, as also a special way of giving back, to the community, just from Mr. Abioye Oke? What is it that
Wow, in the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
Wow. In the next 2 weeks, what I would love to do by way of showing love and giving back to the society in the next 2 weeks. That's powerful. I'm just thinking and it has to be in the next 2 weeks.
Next 2
and
weeks.
Once I say it, I must do it, right?
You must do it.
And I must come back to you, Doc. I've done it.
We are, it's on record, so that's why we put it on the spot to see what you're going to do, as
in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, in the next 2 weeks, I would love to sponsor at least 3 persons into any of our models at Lifestyle Hub.
Wow.
Okay. So whereby the person simply gain an access into the model without having to pay. All you just need to do is work your way in. So that means that the person will eventually own a house without a $0 or $0.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that? Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Yeah. So you've heard it. And we're going to be following up on that to find out who these 3 persons are, how they were able to enroll into the model and the program, to go through the program and be able to finally make it that they own their own apartment without paying nothing. Did you hear that? And that's his own way of showing love for the next 2 weeks. And so we want to...
I'm sorry, Doc, if I should throw the challenge back to you,
yes.
You should nominate those 3 people.
Oh, I should nominate. Wow, did you hear that? Wow, that's an amazing one. Okay, so no problem. So I will be discussing that with you.
Awesome.
And which means we are going to follow these people and see why they should qualify to this opportunity, because you will need to have a good reason to qualify, because his goal is to make sure that every other person able to own a property of their own. And we will really work with you. So you hear it. So through this program, you can own your own house. You can have your life change. And that's what this all is about, transforming people's life through love. Thank you so very much for having us, and thank you for these promises and pledges that you're making. We're looking forward to following through with these 3 people and following through with all the other amazing things that you're doing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. And thank you for what you do too.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So once again, my good people, here we bring it to a close today, as we have had it from the great man that God is using to touch and affect so many lives across the continent of Africa. And so we are so happy that Lifestyle Hub is also giving back even bigger than what they are doing, that in the next 2 weeks you have a new set of people who are about to own their own property without spending nothing. Did you just hear that? That's what we are here about, and that's what Transformation by Love is all about. Once again, we happy. Follow us on all our social media handles. You can send us an email to tell us how this program has been a blessing to you on hello@macaulaykalu.com. Also, check out our website on macaulaykalu.com. And also, once again, send us, in case you have any challenges you're going through and there's any way that we can be of help to you, send us an email. Tell us about your story. And if there are things that you are doing to transform lives through love that you want the world to know about it, also send us an email. Tell us your story, and we will follow up with you. Thank you once again for joining us today, and we look forward to having you on our next segment. Goodbye.